welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're doing a review on this Allpowers portable power station S300. This is a 300 watts, well technically it's actually 288 watts hours, and this is 500 surge. So basically you can only run the appliances that are less than 300 watts and it's surged at 500. As you can see, this is quite a small tiny little unit, and I find this really sweet. It's got a lovely little carry handle. It weighs about 3 kilos. The rough dimensions of the unit is about 18 centimeters by 17 by about 11, which is basically a size of a car battery, so which is all good. As you can see right at the front, we have 2 of the AC plugs. We've got 2 of the little torches on the side, which I can quickly put on to you. They're very, very bright as well. Okay, we've got a real-time display. We have a Bluetooth button. We have the DC and AC buttons to power up the DC or AC outputs. On the side here, okay, we have the DC outputs. We've got 2 plugs there. We have a USB-C in and out and 3 of USB type A. And on this side, we have basically the DC 12 watts, which is the car charger. And then we have the input and we have the Anderson port here. Anderson port is basically where you have to plug in the Anderson cable, and the cable is to plug in the solar panels into the unit. Okay, so the unit itself, guys, okay, it came with a manual and it came with a 60-watt plug to charge it off the wall. Before we go any further, to be able to charge the unit, guys, you can use the either power adapter supplied. You can charge it through USB type C because it's in and out, and you can charge it through your normal car cigarette lighter, and you can charge them all together as well. I'm not sure how this is quite possible when you have your, obviously, the 3-pin plug and the car charger, but nonetheless it is possible to charge. Nonetheless, saying that, it's still going to take between 5 and 6 hours to charge the unit. Whether you're using the solar battery or solar panels, whether you're using the normal pin plug or you're using the car output, it's basically going to take between 5 and 6 hours, if not a little bit longer. One of the things, guys, as I mentioned, unfortunately it doesn't come with a cable to charge to plug in your solar panels, and it doesn't come with the solar panels themselves. So you kind of have to buy this separately unless you already have your solar things in place. Or maybe you're not intending to use solar, you just want to use it to basically go camping. So anyway, so if you decided to use the solar panels, they do sell them separately, and it has to be like a 100-watt panel, which it takes about 80 watts to charge the unit. If you don't, guys, it's not the end of the world. As I said, because you can charge there through your power, I think because the unit's so compact, it's kind of perfectly to go with you camping, or if you're going on a day out, basically to charge your laptop, your cameras, your drones, anything, any of the small appliances, even a small little power bank like that. Okay, so the for example, the power bank I have here, just to give you an idea, which is at 10,000 milliamp. This unit is 78,000 milliamp, so it's kind of roughly age of the power banks. And again, just to those units, guys, bear in mind the price break. They are £250. They're not designed to run, you know, your main fridge freezer, or to run sort of big, heavy, you know, electricity hungry appliances. They're literally there to charge up your, as I said, little things. On the positive side as well, guys, this one's got a wireless charger on top for your phone. All you got to make sure that the DC is on, and you plop your phone and it's starting to charge. In the manual, it did say that you have to position your phone centralized to, there's a little picture here, the wireless picture. I found that both of our iPhones are working if you put them right towards the end, one side, and it flips and it starts charging. It's not one of the fastest chargers, unfortunately. It's taken, on average, for every half an hour, the phone takes about 10% of charge. So it's basically charging between 5 and 10, takes in between 5 and 10 units to basically charge that, which is kind of a-okay. As I said, I think because of what the units are for, guys, we're not really, if you're going camping, we want to leave the phones alone, right? We just want to just keep it there as a bare necessity for the things like as an emergency, and maybe charge your camera and do different sort of things. But this is my opinion anyway. But you got to understand, I think, and make your decision to what it is you want to buy the units for, and understand that because they are basically an entry model and something you take with you, you're not going to get, and you're not going to be able to run your normal fridge freezer from that. Saying that, okay, hear me, because you guys can charge the unit, you can basically, it can take and give power at the same time. So that means one of the benefits, you can use this as a UPS. So if you do have something that you run at home, say either it's a laptop or something, something potentially that is within the 288 watts, you can use this as the UPS, which is the uninterrupted power supply. So for example, if my fridge ran at say 200 watts an hour, I can plug this unit into the wall, I can plug my fridge into that, and if, for example, there's a power cut, my fridge wouldn't cut off because it will be drawing the power from the battery. And it's not something I'm saying you're going to be using for the fridge, but in many cases there are certain circumstances when you're running something, for example a modem, if you work from home, and it's very important that you have a meeting and you don't want the modem to cut off, like hours take 15 minutes to come back on. I can plug in my modem into that, plug this into the power, and that means that we won't lose a modem connection if the power goes off, if you see what I'm saying. Okay, so this is a great thing from that little unit. Okay, so technically, guys, it is very self-explanatory. It's very easy, very sweet, very compact, and I think it pretty much hits all the notes in terms of what you really want from something you can just basically chuck in the back of your car and go camping for a day out. Just one of the things to test as well, just wanted to let you know, we have a cigarette lighter here, because I know not many of them apparently, DC lighters actually pull out what they need to, so let me just get this opened. So it's meant to be 12 volts, so I'm going to plug this in, and there we are. It's actually running at 13 volts out, which is absolutely perfect, so can't grumble. So again, reasons for us to use it, we have the tire inflator, sorry, not car inflator. We've got a van, and we find it very difficult, or my husband finds it very difficult, every time we need to pump tires, unless you of course go and pay for the air at the petrol station, is to blow them up, because you have to then, the cable here doesn't reach, so we have to use the extension lead and carry this around. Well, this little beauty here, it's absolutely perfect and it works. So just to prove the point, okay, I'm going to plug this in. It is going to be very, very noisy, but I just want to basically let you know and prove you the fact that you can actually run something like that, and amongst that many other things. So I'm going to plug that in. It's going to be really noisy, so I do apologize, okay? So, there we are. That comes in. This unit here pulls it out at 50, basically 50 watts, okay? So the beauty is as well, we have a display, which is a real life display, and it will tell me how long I can run a specific device at that specific power. So when I plug this in, as I said, 50 watts it takes out, and it tells me that I've got 3 hours and 30 minutes to run this unit, which is more than enough to be able to do your car van tires. At the same time, again, the benefit you might not think about, again, is relevant to us, is things like inflatable pools outside and the bouncy castles for the children. Again, rather than messing around with the extension leads, plugging it in, dragging it outside, you take this little baby out, you plug it in, and it's charging them nicely and quickly, which is basically a really, really good thing. So, talking about price, guys, 250 quid, okay? As I mentioned, as a price break, because some of those units, you pay more money, but you get what you pay for. You get bigger wattage, you get bigger capacity battery, so everything gets bigger with the more money you spend. £250 is kind of the entry-level price break, but I think, to be fair, for what you're getting is a good little starter unit, or something. If you're not interested in getting the solar altogether, or sort of living off grid, having one of those as a portable little station, I think is just absolutely perfect. Because we do have a solar setup, we have a smaller batteries, smaller panels as well. So we could be charging it up from there, or you could be using it to charge it from your bigger generator if you do have one. And our intentions with that one is to potentially, because we're trying to get a bit more, not say off-grid, guys, but we're trying to be more, thinking about more electricity and saving electricity as we can. So we can charge this through the solar, or through the unit, or not through the wall for this instance, but taking upstairs, like say in the bedroom, and charge your toothbrushes, charge little things that normally would be plugged in there, and basically drawing the power, we'll be using one of those. So as I said to you guys, the drawbacks of that, I would only say the wireless charger, it does take a little while. I think it could be done with updating, because it will take probably over a day to fully charge the iPhone. As I said, however, it might not be really important to you because not every phone has got a wireless point anyway, so that particularly doesn't matter. But things like being a little bit waterproofing, that probably can go a long way. Unfortunately, those units are not waterproof, so you have to be careful when you do go, if you go camping or take it outside, that you just don't forget and leave it. We found there were even bigger ones that we plugged it in with the solar panels, and then sort of sun was shining and you suddenly go out to the shop because, you know, you're soaking in power and it's great. But where we live, the clouds can come over from the mountains pretty much within like a couple of minutes and it'll start raining. So you just got to bear this in mind, that if you do go camping in the forest or go for a walk, you're going to have to kind of judge the weather and or put this undercover just to make sure. Obviously, if you're in a tent, you can put it undercover, make sure it doesn't get wet. But all in all, guys, I'm really, really happy. As I said, it's very straightforward. You get what you pay for. It is what it is. It will charge your basic things there, and that's that. So I'm very, very happy. So I do, guys, hope that you found this video useful or helpful or at least entertaining. Don't forget thumbs up, and I shall hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.